Being a teacher is a hard job. We have to lesson plan, we have papers to grade, parents to call, meetings to attend, and student behavior that we have to deal with. And the worst part is, we're expected to be good at this the moment we enter the classroom. When I started teaching 20 years ago, I thought it was gonna be a piece of cake. I took all the college courses I needed to take. I love the subject I was teaching, history. I thought this was gonna be easy. Man, was I wrong. I had no idea just how difficult teaching really is. Oh, look at this picture. This is me 20 years ago, before I started getting gray hairs. And here's another one. I was just newly married. We just had our first daughter. And man, where has the time gone? If I could just go back in time and get some advice to a young man to help him along his teaching journey, gosh, I would love to do that. Luckily, I have the perfect thing. I teach history. Well, what else would you expect to take us back in time besides a history book? It literally does take you back in time. Well, I tell you what, we're going to use this to go talk to my younger me and help him along this difficult journey we call teaching. Whoa, wow. Gotta love that time travel. At least it's no telephone booth or DeLorean. Oh man, I remember this day. This was Valentine's 2004. This is when I was doing my student teaching. See, I worked at Geico all night. Then in the morning time, I would drive straight to work, so I could do my student teaching. This particular morning was a Saturday, so I didn't have to go to school, but I was so tired from the week, I couldn't even make it home. I had to pull into a Home Depot parking lot and take a nap 30 minutes from home. Oh, look, I think I'm waking up. Let's go talk to me. Myself. Him. You know what I mean. How you doing? Oh, I'm so tired. I don't know how much longer I can do this. All the driving, all the working, all the teaching, it is just wearing me out. I have some bad news and some good news. What do you want to hear first? Give me the bad news first. The first couple years are going to be exhausting. You're going to put more time and effort into this than you've done anything else before in your whole entire life. And don't even get me started on student behavior. Man, those kids are going to do things you never thought even imaginable. And you are going to be tired, not just regular tired, but teacher tired. That kind of tired when you come home, your mind just goes absolutely blank and your body, man, it just starts to drag. That sounds horrible. Why would anybody want to teach? Because of the good news. Well, what's the good news? There's no other job where students will come back year after year after year to let you know the difference that you made in their lives. In time, you'll have former students stop you to say thank you for all you have done for them. You'll even be invited to many different graduation ceremonies from former students. It's pretty awesome. After time, you develop this rhythm of how to do things. And then that is when you get your time back. And you finally get to enjoy those vacations that teachers are so well known for. Well, I can't wait for that moment. So, hey, I guess in the meantime, I'll just buckle up and, give it the old college try. Thank you for those words of encouragement. It was my pleasure. And just hang in there. It does get better. Just like me, you're going to put all those hours in when you first start teaching. But the good news is you're eventually going to get a rhythm down. And when that happens, you start to get your time and energy back. Well, I think my job here is done. Let's see what's next. Whew, man, that was a rough one. Well, luckily for me, my hair is still okay. Oh, I remember this day. I was about 4 months into my teaching career and I just got done visiting the principal office and he wanted to talk to me about how I was doing and he told me that it may not be working out. I was so close to losing my job that day. Luckily for me, he had a change of heart. Or maybe he just couldn't find anybody else to take my spot. Either way, I was just in way over my head. Come on, let's go see if we can help out. It was a rough day, wasn't it? It sure was. And I don't know what else to do. I'm trying everything. I'm putting my heart and soul into this job. Oh, I know how you feel. You spend all day, all night, lesson planning, grading, testing, and no matter what you do, it just seems like it's not enough or it's not even good enough. Am I right? That's exactly how I feel, but what else can I do? You see, the hardest thing about teaching isn't that lesson planning, isn't the testing, isn't the grading. The hardest thing about teaching is that classroom management. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. So I still want you to do all those things. I still want you to lesson plan and grade and test and all that, but 90% of your effort needs to go towards that classroom management. Even if that means you're only testing once every 2 to 3 weeks and you're grading, every other assignment, that is okay. Learn from whoever you can, read books on classroom management, try new things, and search like crazy on YouTube. Oh, disregard that last part about YouTube. It won't come out for another year. Got it. Focus on classroom management. And that YouTube thing, I'll check it out next year in 2005. Oh, by the way, that classroom management thing, you actually become really good at it. Well, okay. Well, I'm off to see another me. Hey, remember, you got what this takes. You know what frustrates me more than anything else? I mean, only about 10% of the stuff we actually learn in these college classes about teaching actually apply to the classroom. The other 90% is just like theories and philosophies and have really no use in the day-to-day life as a teacher. I call that stuff fluff. What we really need is the meat and potatoes. What we really need to learn in college is just how to deal with the day-to-day problems that come up and the student behavior and the classroom management, as well as a strong support system. Hey, I thought you said you were leaving. My bad. I guess it's time for us to go. Hey, I'm getting better at this time travel thing. So, where are we at now? Oh, I see. It's the dining room table. This is where I spent many weekends lesson planning, grading, and of course, licking my wounds from a rough week. Here, come on, let's go see how we can help. How did this week go? It was another challenging one. I mean, I can't get caught up in the paperwork, lesson planning. It seems like I'm doing that every single day. I'm even having students tell me how much I suck as a teacher. I know you say it's gonna get easier, but it sure doesn't feel that way. Give yourself some grace. It may feel like you're all alone and you're the only one struggling, but I promise you all brand new teachers are hurting. Let me show you something that's gonna change your perspective. This is a graph showing what percentage of teachers remain based upon how long of the years they've been teaching for. What I want you to notice is that the percentage of teachers dropped dramatically until about year 5. Then in year 5, it kind of starts to plateau. It looks like year 5, only about 50% of the teachers still remain. That means only about half of the teachers make it to year 5? Exactly. You're not alone. This is an extremely hard profession. It takes about 5 years to really get good at your craft of teaching. If you make it to year 5, then it becomes so much easier to make this a lifelong career. I see that. Since this is a career, I want you to think of this as a marathon. And these first couple years are the first couple miles of that long run. But then you'll find your stride. And regarding that kid that said you suck as a teacher, do your best to ignore kids like that. You're gonna get that all throughout your career. It's kind of like a YouTube channel. You are always gonna find those trolls in those comments. YouTube? I keep forgetting about that YouTube thing. Well, just remember everything we talked about, and it's all going to work out. I'll see you in the future. Whew, man, I'm glad to be back. You know, after 20 years of teaching, I still have to do the following things: lesson planning, grading work, calling parents, going to meetings, dealing with student behavior. But even though the job is the same, I'm different. And that's what you gotta know. You see, the job does not get easier. You're always gonna have to struggle with a gazillion things going on at one time. But as the years go on, you're gonna get better. And then when you get to that point where you really got your craft down, that is when teaching becomes really rewarding.